Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Ashleigh, and today we're talking about boundaries, what they are, why they're crucial for a healthy life, and how to communicate and enforce them effectively. If you've ever struggled with saying no or felt overwhelmed by other people's demands, this episode is most definitely for you. So, what exactly are boundaries? If you don't know, that's okay, because until I was 29, I had no idea what a boundary was. I thought they were rules or expectations. Boundaries are the limits that we set for ourselves in relationships, work, sex, or other personal interactions. They define what we're comfortable with and how we expect others to treat us. And this is key. We teach people how to treat us. We set this for ourselves. So if we don't like how someone treats us, then it's up to us to address it. Let's jump straight into a few key points about boundaries. Number one is your personal limits. Boundaries help protect our personal space, emotions, personal space, and well-being. They ensure we're not overextending ourselves or allowing others to take advantage of us. As women, we have a tendency to do this a lot. Number two is healthy relationships. Establishing boundaries fosters mutual respect and understanding in our relationships. It's about communicating your needs and respecting others' limits as well, not just your own. Number three is self-care. Boundaries is a form of self-care. They help maintain balance and prevent burnout by ensuring that you're taking care of your own needs first. Because I didn't know what a boundary was for an extremely long time, I allowed and tolerated a lot of shit in my life in the name of I'm helping someone or it's just how they are. People pleasing, which I have a completely another episode for which you can go and listen to. But also because my self-worth and self-esteem was so low that I tolerated less than the bare minimum in certain dynamics and said yes to so many things and people that just drained my energy. So when I finally decided that I had enough, I realized the importance of having my boundaries, and it was an absolute game changer for myself as a whole. Which leads me into our next section of why they're so important. Without clear boundaries, we can easily become overwhelmed, stressed, and end up feeling resentful and bitter. If you're reaching a point of resentment, you have either not communicated your boundaries or you're allowing them to continuously be overstepped and by not addressing it. So 3 things that boundaries protect are 1, our mental health. Boundaries protect our mental health by reducing stress and preventing emotional exhaustion. They help create a safe space for us to recharge and then refocus on what truly matters to ourselves. Self-respect. Setting boundaries is an act of ultimate self-respect. It shows that you value yourself enough, your well-being enough to prioritize yourself and your needs first. Healthy interactions. So having clear boundaries will lead to healthier and more honest interactions that you're able to have with yourself and others. They prevent misunderstandings and ensure that both parties know and respect each other's limits. Once I started setting boundaries, I noticed a significant improvement in my relationships. Some of those relationships ended, and that's okay because the ones that stayed were more balanced and more respectful. And I felt more in control of my time and my energy. I know what you're probably thinking. How on earth do I even communicate or enforce my boundaries if I've never had them, let alone know what they are? So don't worry, I got you. Let's jump into the practical side of things, which is 1, how do we actually clearly define your boundaries? First step is self-reflection. Take some time to reflect on what your boundaries are. Consider the different areas of your life, work, personal relationships, and self-care, sex, ECT. The next is be specific about the behaviors and situations that you're not comfortable with. The clearer you are, the easier it is to communicate them with other people and for yourself. For an example, I decided that I needed to set a boundaries around not accepting same day or last minute invitations. In order for me to make total control of my time and my schedule, things needed to be planned in advance. And I held that same boundary for when I was making plans with somebody else. So number 2 is to communicate assertively. Direct communication when discussing your boundaries is crucial. You need to be direct and assertive by using I statements to express your needs without sounding accusatory. For instance, I need some time for myself after work to recharge. Your next step is to be calm and respectful in your delivery. So approach the conversation calmly and, of course, respectfully. Make it clear that your boundaries are about your needs and not about rejecting the other person. For example, I told my friends I love spending time with you, but I don't do same day plans. Let's schedule a hangout another time instead. And number 3, enforce the consequences. This is hard even for myself, and it can be for others, but constant follow through. So if somebody crosses your boundaries, it's important to enforce the consequences consistently. It shows that you're serious about maintaining your limits always. If needed, repeat your boundaries. Remind the person, friend, family of your boundaries and the agreed upon consequences if they're not respected. This enforces the importance of your limits. For example, when a friend repeatedly only wanted to plan things the day of, I reminded them of that I wouldn't be making plans the same day. It took a couple of reminders, but eventually they started planning in advance. I know it can feel like a lot, and if you've never had boundaries, then the first time you set them, you might feel like you're being rude, mean, or unkind, or so many other things. But you must remind yourself that boundaries are essential for protecting your well-being, maintaining healthy relationships, and ensuring that you have complete self-respect for yourself. Remember the 3 steps to effectively communicate and enforce your boundaries. Number 1 is clearly define them. 2, communicate assertively. And 3, enforce the consequences. I want you to remember that this may take some time, a hell of a lot of practice, and consistently, just like anything else in your life. Setting boundaries is a skill that takes practice, but the benefits of your mental health, relationships, and self-love are well worth the effort. Thank you so much for joining today's episode. I want to thank you for listening, and I hope you have found this both insightful and helpful. If you enjoyed listening, please subscribe and share with someone who might be in benefit of it as well. I'm Ashleigh, and I'll see you in the next episode.